Hoewel bendes en dwelms dikwels jong drome in Dera Flats Atlantis vernietig, het die tweelingbroers Diego en Devano Blankenberg besluit dat hulle storie anders sal eindig. Op 26 Maart het hulle geskiedenis gemaak toe Devano as meganiese ingenieur en Diego as megatroniese ingenieur aan die Universiteit van Stellenbosch gegradueer het en dis nou vanoggend my voorreg om met hulle te gesels. So, goeiemôre, good morning en baie dankie dat julle vanoggend by ons aansluit.
Goeiemôre daai kante.
Goed, was daar 'n spesifieke oomblik gewees wat julle na die opsies om julle gekyk het en toe besluit het ons gaan 'n ander pad kies?
Yeah, ek dink van klings af was ons maar we always considered ourselves as being a bit different from the rest. You know, I think our friends used to look at me and Diego as like kind of the good examples, as I would say. So I think ever since like a young age, we used to kind of be the odd ones out now. But I think that's what our parents and my grandma, my family taught us, you know, don't try to fit into the crowd, always try and be different, you know. I think my mother used to say one thing, en sy sal dit gesê in Afrikaans sal sê, wees eerder maar 'n nerd as om in te wil fit met die crowd, ek dink. So ek dink so van kleins af was ons maar altyd, het ons maar altyd met different paadjie gekies, ja, so.
Nou, julle het groot geword in Dera Flats, so ek wil net hê julle moet vir ons vertel van die uitdagings in die spesifieke omgewing.
Ek dink daar was baie uitdagings omdat daar baie bendes is en crime. Maar ek dink toe ons daar bly, ek dink ons het actually agtergekom waar en wat environment is actually is, ek dink van dit is by Stellenbosch kon toe het ons actually agtergekom. Maar een ding besides nou al die negatiewe stigma agter, ek dink daar was actually baie goeie ding in om in so 'n omgewing op te groei en ek dink for my persoonlik, as ek nou in Engels sê, the greatest thing for humans is being close to one another. En om so actually in Flits op te groei, was baie na aan mekaar ons almal so, daar was baie liefde onder ons mense en ek dink soos my neighbors sal amper soos 'n familie is vir my, selfs my aunties of my ma se sisters. So ek dink besides 'n negatiewe stigma, daar was actually baie goeie dinge uit dit en van ons mense was baie na aan mekaar en daar was baie liefde onder mekaar. Maar ja, ook reg, daar was baie negatiewe ding, maar ek dink was dit die tyd het actually agtergekom totdat ons actually uit het gekom het toe het ons actually agtergekom waar ons opgegroei het en ja.
So as julle dit dalk nou moes opsom, hoe sou julle sê het hierdie uitdagings van die omgewing julle spesifiek gevorm?
I would actually say it shaped us a lot because ever since I would say primary school, you know, we always wanted to try and prove people wrong because of the stigma and the labels people used to relate with people coming from Dera Flats, or not even Dera Flats, I think in general just the Cape Flats. When they hear you from the Cape Flats or Dera Flats, there's a label they give you. So ever since a young age, we always try to prove people wrong. So I think that's one of the qualities we grew up with was nothing is impossible for us. We'd always try and prove people wrong, you know. So I think that's kind of what shaped me. I always try and prove people wrong in a good way. You know, because people always have this negative thing to say about people from the Cape Flats. But I think if you can try and prove them wrong, I think that's one step closer to changing this whole label that people used to give to Cape Flats or Dera Flats. Yeah.
En ek dink dis juist waarom julle storie ook so inspirerend is, juist om daai stigma of stereotype in die proses, jy weet, te breek of amper half reg te stel. Nou, julle het saam gestudeer en saam gegradueer. So, hoe belangrik was julle verhouding as tweeling in hierdie reis?
Ek dink ons het kind of actually advantage gehad van eerste jare ek dink ek het altyd iemand gehad na wie toe kan gaan wat daar en omdat ons dieselfde veld in ons eerste jaar ons vakke was al alles dieselfde. So ek dink obviously as jy eerste jare jy nog baie skaam en bang om vrae te vra vir vriende en dis nog die tyd wanneer jy nog vriende maak, so jy wil nog nie soms as jy skaam om vrae te vra en ek dink so ek het advantage dat ek actually my periode waar ek kan vra so ek hoef nie om skaam te gewees of bang te wees om te vra nie van ek meen as my periode wat ek 'n vraag kan vra. So ek dink dis een ding wat ons kan het wat om saam te gestudeer het. Ek dink ook vir ons familie was dit 'n goeie ding ook van ek dink jy weet ek het al gehoor hulle sê met tweelinge is dit altyd die een is die sterk en dan aan die een nou nie so sterk maar Ours was actually 'n goeie example want ons altyd was equal basically. So ja, ek dink dis ja.
Mm. Die volgende vraag is vir my baie belangrik. Julle ma en ouma het 'n groot rol gespeel. Wat beteken hulle ondersteuning vir julle vandag?
Yeah, I think it means the world for us. I think like I always say like once you're trying to do something, you must always try and have a motivation while you do it. I think our biggest motivation was like my mother and our grandma. You know, they sacrificed a lot for us, like ever since a young age. You know, we lost our father at a very young age. So I think like that support that my grandma gave my mother, like that meant the world to us. So if like we just always wanted to make them proud, you know, like just to tell them like all of that sacrifice that you guys like made for us was actually worth it, you know. So I think like they are biggest motivation. Every day when I wake up, like I try and find the motivation on why I do the things I do. And I think those are the two biggest motivations for me personally. And I think for the ego also.
En ek is bly dat jy ook daarna verwys want een van my vrae het sou juis gaan oor daai verlies van julle pa, maar dit klink dan nou vir my asof julle ouma en julle ma twee steunpilare was in daai proses en om gefokus te bly. So ek wil aanbeweeg en vra, hoekom is dit vir julle so belangrik om julle storie met ander mense te deel?
Ek dink dit is baie belangrik soos die Wanner sê het in die eerste vraag is like om basically 'n stigma te breek en like 'n stereotype wat mense het van like Atlantis. Like ek dink nou recently ook in Atlantis daar was actually iets van ons skool wat gebeur het like daar was actually baie negatiewe ding wat gebeur het en ek dink om ons storie te deel met mense dat dit basically lig gebring in die donkerte. So ek dink dis 'n goeie ding om 'n storie te deel met mense. Ek dink ook vir mense wat van dieselfde background afkom, dis 'n baie motivation vir hulle en hulle kan basically ons storie as 'n motivation gebruik dat jy kan dit maak waar ook al jy wil wees. Yeah, I think I would agree with that. I think like growing up in Dura, you know, there's always like this negative role models that people have. And I don't want to only talk about Dura Flats, but I would talk in Cape Flats in general. Like the role models we as young kids always look up to are always like the gang leaders or the drug dealers and all of that. So I think having a good story coming from the flats, I think that's important because then kids actually have something positive to look at and they actually have positive role models to look at. So I think that's what's so important for us to actually tell our story so that people can look at us and be like, okay, it's not only the negative side that we can look at, it's actually something positive coming from this background.
En ek dink terwyl jy nou daarna verwys en met daai in gedagte, ek bedoel julle is nou rolmodelle vir jong mense in julle gemeenskap. Hoe beskou julle daai verantwoordelikheid? Wat beteken dit vir julle?
First I think there's kind of a lot of pressure on us now because if you look at the example like if I for example get 9 questions right out of 10, people always focus on the one thing I got wrong. So I think that's the pressure because people are going to start looking at for the mistake or the one thing you do wrong and basically point that one wrong thing out. So I think firstly it's a kind of pressure, but also I think like for me personally, I think like we put on this earth for a role and like God used us, we basically his vessels. So I think besides all the the pressure there is, I think that is basically our responsibility to use our like basically be vessels of God and let God speak through us and basically allow him to use like our story or like basically use us to get his message across to people. And I think like one of my main thing is like basically being a vessel for God and like allowing him to speak through me. So I think even though there's prayer, I think I'm just living out my purpose and allowing God to like speak through me. Yeah, I think I agree with you. I think that's also how I take it. You know, there's a lot of pressure, like you said, but I think if you're doing it for a good purpose, you know, I'm happy to take all of that pressure on me. I'm happy to do whatever God allows me to do.
Die tyd het ons ongelukkig ingehaal, maar Diego en Devano, baie dankie vir julle tyd vanoggend. Julle is werklike inspirasie en ek hoop ons kan weer in die toekoms gesels. Jy is ingeskakel by Goeiemôre Good Morning. Ons is nou weer terug.